Kristen? Is it Kristen, right? Kristen, what time is that event? You said November 10th, right? What time is that?
Charlene, were you talking to her about it too?
No, we're talking about the contributions my people.
Right here.
Yeah, I was just.
Lord, I got to do an interview.
Great.
Jesus,
Is it ready?
It should
a
be
little
on.
bit.
Is it on?
Well, remember, what's his face? Knocked it around a little bit.
Okay.
Eventually, we're going to start moving.
That was great. It's on camera.
Yes. And is it recording?
It is.
Okay. So yeah, we're just going to talk about. Say your name to put on.
My name is Angela Harris Williams.
And Angela's here with me today. We're going to talk a little bit about her family's contributions to the development of Delray Beach. Tell me what you remember about your grandfather and your father.
Well, what I remember about my grandfather, because I didn't meet him, but what my father told me is that he was one of the first African American builders here in Delray Beach. And a lot of the builders modeled their buildings from my grandfather.
And what was his name?
His name is Isaiah Bruin.
Isaiah Bruin.
Yes, and my father, who learned how to build from his grandfather, because his father passed away when he was a very young boy.
I see.
So he learned how to build, and he took what he knew, and he built apartments. He built homes. Every home that we had, my father built. And then from him building it, when we moved out of the home, he rented the home.
Right.
He had the rooming house here, right across from St. John Primitive Baptist, where we grew up. He also built on 7th Avenue, and eventually he bought almost a whole lots on the northwest side of 7th Avenue. And eventually I sold my father's properties when he became ill. I sold all his properties to take care of him, and which he worked very hard for.
Right.
But in addition to that, Charlene, I can remember moving an entire home on Northwest 8th Avenue, and then if you can see that big yellow building that's still there, everything around it has been torn down, but that's the building that's still standing. So I think about some of the unsung heroes in our community, being Raleigh Harris, being one of them, and he is an unsung hero, and he is, again, built many properties around Delray Beach. That yellow building is standing. We had the grocery store. We had the neighborhood grocery store. We had the he had a barber shop, and then I can recall him renting the downstairs area to a church.
Right. Exactly.
A woman who had a crochet shop. It was just many things that the property was rented to, and we lived upstairs.
Right. So business owners, such as your father and your grandfather, were very important in our community because they touched the lives of so many people, and they gave so many people an opportunity to get their own footing in the community. Yes. And they painted the landscape of what our neighborhoods look like.
Absolutely.
And so as we remember what our hometown looked like, and how it got there, we have to give credit to these people who had the foresight to set up these structures that we now consider historic structures, and that we need to pay homage to.
That's right, absolutely.
And I sure appreciate you talking with me today.
You're welcome.
And we're going to do something to remember your father and your grandfather.
Awesome, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Excellent.